we're talking about a contracting company that principally does roofing and
Like
does very
commercial
well
or
in
residential?
both. It's commercial. They'll do residential, but
Okay.
they typically work as a subcontractor for a general. Okay, they do very well, but they're wanting to pivot away from being a subcontractor
Okay.
into getting their own jobs and being basically a general contractor who uses subs in their own crews. And so they know their business very, very well, but it's how to collect customers, how to prospect, how to go after jobs. And so they're looking at how do I market these services? I'll say one other thing that's maybe a little extraneous, but they principally do roofing now and they want to get into all sorts of construction. They're
Like
very
what?
capable people. Remodeling,
Okay.
building structures, concrete work, all general, all kinds of typical construction. My
Okay.
advice to them right at this point is to focus and
Mhm.
let's take one thing and get after it and get good at it. But their question to me is, how do we go about? How do we do that? How do we get started? How do we market? So that's going to be my question to you. They
Okay. So,
basically do zero marketing now. It's all comes to them by relationships with general contractors and occasionally something that they'll be the GC on because some general didn't want to do it and flipped it to them. So how
okay.
to get their own customer?
So, honestly, they're in the commercial space. And so it's a lot of the same that they're already doing. They've got these relationships with GCs that are feeding them work. They have to have relationships. That's going to be the primary avenue. And it's just not going to be with GCs. It's just a different target audience. And so it changes a lot of their go-to-market strategy and how they handle themselves. So I would say for the most part, you know, the GC cares primarily about, are you going to fit the budget? Are you going to be on time? Are you going to, fit compliance and safety issues? Are you going to do good work? They're really concerned about the job as a whole and looking good to the customer. They now need to start thinking about who their target audience is a little bit more. And their target audience is now going to be the property managers. It's going to be the building owners. It's going to be insurance agents, real estate agents. Those are the people that they're going to start to have to talk to and build those relationships with, while still maintaining those GC relationships as well.
Right.
But it's a new target audience, and so they've got to think about the buyer's journey of those people. I think, from one, you've got to have
Yeah.
really
Can
good.
you, can you, it's been a long time since we talked about the buyer's journey.
Mhm.
What is that?
Yeah. So everyone, you and I, companies, anybody out there goes through a buyer's journey, and there's different names for the stages of the buyer's journey, but we'll just use awareness, consideration, and decision. Whenever we are buying something and we're in the awareness stage, we have a problem in front of us. There's a leak in my roof. I'm feeling sick. Variety of problems are out there, or there's an opportunity in front of us. It doesn't have to necessarily be a problem. It could be an opportunity to do something. Um, I feel like we can grow, or we're getting great reviews. We can do more business, or we have extra capacity, right? These are opportunities. And we're just defining what the problem or the opportunity is. Is this really a leak, or is this just condensation coming down? Or, how big is the leak? Is it something that I need to repair? Do I need to fix my whole roof? They're defining what the problem or the opportunity is. In the consideration stage, they are figuring out how they're going to fix it. They're defining the solution to the problem or the opportunity, right? With how we've got all this extra capacity, maybe we should start a marketing campaign. Is that going to be the solution to getting in new work? Or maybe I need to call just my handyman to fix the leak. Or maybe I need to call an actual repair service for commercial roofing. So defining what that solution is. In the decision stage, you're deciding what you're going to take action with, who you're going to take action with. Am I going to use this roofing company or this roofing company? That's where you're looking at maybe the reviews online. That's where you're going into a little bit more research, asking for specific references, asking for a referral from your other guy, your buddy who owns a building and has had problems in the past with his roof, right? So you've got to be aware of the buyer's journey of your target audience, and then what matters to them throughout. What are the things that matter to them about this problem? For the GC, the problem is, whenever I'm passing you a lead or a project to bid as a sub, the things that are priority for me are, is it going to be done well? Is it going to be done on time? Is it going to be done on budget? Those are the things that matter to me the most. And those are going to matter to other people as well. But for, you know, the insurance agent, it's going to be more about, are you going to answer the phone? Are you going to handle my client well? Are you going to walk them through the process and educate them? Are you, there's different things that matter to them throughout the buyer's journey and things that they're considering when they look at a solution. So that's the buyer's journey in a nutshell. We'll kind of reference that probably throughout this, but I don't think that much is going to change. This for a marketing strategy and a go-to-market strategy for this sub who's wanting to basically become a GC of roofing, their standalone commercial roofer. It's not going to be Facebook ads or LinkedIn ads, Google ads, even. You need to have an online presence so that you look credible. Got to have a good website. Got to have clear messaging that speaks the language of your target audience. And then really you've got to have just a professional appearance and get out there and build relationships. I'm assuming for, most people that, most subs that have really good relationship with the GC, it's because they talk that language. They've been in it for a long time. They know how to network in that space. And then kind of moving into a different sector is a little bit hard. It's not the same kind of conversation when you're talking to a GC or a project manager as when you're talking to a real estate agent or a property manager or a insurance agent. And so oftentimes the best way to go about this is to just find somebody who already has that network. Maybe it's hiring an ex-insurance agent to network with insurance agents and get more referrals for, for jobs. And then maybe it's finding a ex-property manager. Maybe it's finding someone who's in a different, adjacent industry who is a salesperson and works directly with property managers. And then obviously you can go and hire salespeople that are already in roofing, that know how to network and bid and find the opportunities that are out there in commercial roofing. You can go the door knocking route of after a storm or whatever, but if you're looking for more of the consistent stuff, it's going to be that relationship that's going to be the first call whenever, there's an issue, there's a repair that needs to be done. Eventually, I would assume, if you want to, I know a little bit about this because my sister works for a national roofing company, but if you want to get into the big jobs, we're talking about like Amazon warehouses and talking about Walmarts and Targets. These companies have their own like construction division of Walmart where they send out bid lists and opportunities to bid on. And so if you can get in the door there, that's going to be the opportunity to be really good at bidding. But again, it's about that relationship and figuring out what is Walmart looking for on this job specifically, what's their challenge, what's the number they want to come in at, and finding that project manager who's going to be ready to be of service to that person 24/7 on this job. So I would say probably for this, there's some buttoning up probably on the appearance and the brand just to make sure it feels professional, looks professional. And then it's getting out there and building those relationships. Fastest way to do that is by hiring somebody.
Yeah. And when you're saying getting out there, in many respects, that's in person.
It's
I mean, you can call.
You can call, you can email. Those things are great, but the face-to-face is going to be there. And, if you really want to build that credibility, if you've done a lot of jobs, go and get photos of the before, the during, the after, have videos of that stuff, get it on your website, showcase what your capabilities are, and types of materials you use, the types of size of jobs you complete, the locations of jobs you complete. Like a big challenge for a lot of these bigger buildings that are out in the middle of nowhere is finding people that can actually show up to the job site and showcase, yeah, we did this rural job that was way out in the middle of nowhere and we completed it in 3 weeks or whatever it was. Wow, if they can get out there, then they can definitely get to us.